Hey everyone, welcome to the UVD Weekly Wrap-Up, the show where the team from UrbanVinylDaily.com goes over everything there is to know in the designer toy, art, street art, and Sofubi world. I'm your host, Travis Likens.
And I'm Ben Pierce.
And we're here for episode 33, the PowWow Wrap-Up.
Exactly.
Plus some other stuff. So I am back from Hawaii.
And I'm still here in Ohio.
So we're back to the show. You may have noticed there wasn't a show last week. That's because I was out on the road checking out the wonderful state of Hawaii.
And if you didn't notice that we missed the episode, I'm sorry you're not a regular viewer.
Or you're just like, wow, these guys are taking a long ass time to load up that video.
I know.
But anyway, so first off, though, we want to thank our sponsors. First up,
Rotofogi.
Gallery F.
And Strange Cat Toys, where we've been pimping out the 15% off code that is probably 10% as UVD.
Yep. So it's actually 10% off. The 15% was their Valentine's Day one, which is now over. But if you want to head over there and grab something for your collection for a 10% off discount, use the code UVD at checkout and it'll be applied. So help us, help you.
Help us. Get free shipping or a Dunny or Luna or anything like that we've mentioned in the past 10 episodes.
Yeah, so make sure to grab something and help support Strange Cat Toys. But I'll give you a little rundown of what I saw while I was at
Story time.
PowWow Hawaii 2017, hosted by the folks at PowWow Worldwide and 1X Run and a host of other people that I'm sure I'm forgetting to mention. And what it is basically is it's a big gathering of artists that are painting murals and they're having art shows and events and things throughout the week. They had a premiere of a movie and all that kind of stuff. What I saw, very interesting stuff, was at the PowWow 5th annual show, which was curated by Thinkspace Gallery. They had some really, really cool pieces, many of which were later turned into the murals that were, painted by the artists that were in the show and were there painting murals. So that was cool. There was some really awesome, like daily, obviously, there were people out in the streets literally painting the murals. So you're just walking down through the neighborhoods and you can just see artists going to work. I found that most of the artists, if you do go, most of them start noon and after. They're not coming before that, really, for the most part. There was a couple out there, but it was mostly like noon and after. I'm sure some of that is to do with the sun and whatnot shining down on them, because I noticed the people were in the shade a lot of times in the afternoon from the buildings and stuff like that. So, but they did have like nice umbrellas for the folks so that they wouldn't get like sunburnt and all that kind of stuff.
Because they're doing a community service.
But it was really cool seeing Tara McPherson paint. She this was the largest mural she's ever painted. So it was very cool seeing her put together her piece, which was also a print. And it was the piece that she created for the show at the 5th annual PowWow show. So that was really cool.
Sounds like you made a bunch of friends.
Yeah. And hung out with Woes, Angry Wobots, checked out his mural. It was very awesome to watch him paint because you think, oh, he's painted white and it's got a panda and there you go. But the way he does it, with the spray paint, it almost creates the fur. The way he does it, and then the blues that he uses to highlight where the black is to show like the fur and the changes in the fur. It's not stuff that you watch it happen, and it's a lot different than just looking at the painting. And you're like, oh, so that's how that happens.
I can imagine that.
Yeah, it just kind of pulls it back and makes you realize that there's a lot of thought behind this character that, some people may say, oh, it's just a panda, but he's doing a lot of work that people don't even realize to create the look and the style that he has created over the years. And watching it happen in person was really, really awesome. Also going on during this time was a lot of events at Lightsleepers, which is a store there that they sell like records and art and, toys and all kinds of different things that they have there. They had, first off, the Love Letter show, which we totally missed the point of when we talked about the show. Love Letters was they had 27 artists create a different version of each letter of the alphabet and the symbol and. So it was like A and Z. So like they made an and symbol. So each artist was assigned a letter and they all made the alphabet.
Huh.
So there was all these different versions of the letters of the alphabet and looked really cool. Woes had the A. That was where he was at. So he made an A.
For angry Woebots.
It was just cool. It was really a cool show. Lots of really cool guys at Lightsleepers. The people that run it, Cavett and company, are awesome. Very welcoming, very, say, hey, come here, check this out. They also hosted the Silent Stage Woebots resin release. So we actually have an example of each of these. We have the red and the blue. And I got to say, Silent Stage knocked it out of the park. The resin on this is awesome. The red is super clear. The blue is a little darker, obviously, but it's still clear.
It's a darker blue.
And the reflection on it, like everything about this is just a really cool piece. And it's a part of their effort to create some more reasonably priced, more in the more everyday man market than their normal art multiples, which are, upwards of $1,000 plus, and I mean, they're worth it. Don't get me wrong. After seeing more of those in person as well, like those pieces are worth that. They're just not in everybody's budget. So they've been, putting out a few more pieces that are smaller in scale and more available and accessible to each individual person. If you're interested in grabbing those will be coming soon online from Silent Stage. If they have not already released by the time we talk about this. So make sure to keep an eye on at silent_stage on Instagram to keep up with the release of that. The other big thing they had going on during the week was the PowWow 1X Run print show, which it's really cool to see that. A lot of those are based on the pieces that are going on at PowWow Hawaii. And those pieces are available currently, a lot of them through 1xrun.com. Some of them are still releasing, like Big Slicks Aloha and all that kind of stuff. They're still time releasing those and things like that. But if you're interested and they haven't all sold out, make sure to head over to 1xrun.com and check out all those. That was hosted by Lana Lane Studios. Great little gallery, great little spot right hidden there in the heart of Honolulu, like where they were doing all the PowWow, right behind Honolulu Brew Works, which was my favorite brewery while I was there. If you're a brewery person and you're in Hawaii, check it out.
So favorite brewery of 2 or 3?
No, we went to 3. Yeah. There was a couple others. They had weird hours, so we weren't able to go to them. And some of them were like super small, and you had to go like during certain hours. You couldn't buy a pint. You could only buy a taster. Like they were like super tiny. So we just didn't make it out to all of those. But we also were very nicely gifted with a copy of Lightsleepers MM Doom.
MF.
Nope. MM Doom.
Really?
Mickey Mouse Doom. So MF Doom is the actual wrapper. So MM Doom resin figure. It's based on obviously Mickey Mouse and the legendary hip hop artist MF Doom. Mashed them together, and it was originally done as a t-shirt design for Lightsleepers, and they brought it into the realm of 3D. And it's a really cool piece. It's really well done. It's got some weight to it. The tail is something you do have to glue in. It doesn't just like stay in there. So I went ahead and glued it into the piece. I will say you got to be careful with the tail because it is kind of fragile, A, and B, you could knock the paint off really easily. There is a small chip on ours already from where it just kind of rubbed against the shoe. So you got to be careful with the tail, but everything else about it is 100% awesome. And they're currently available over on lightsleepers.com, $50. And they were an edition of 100 pieces. So when I looked it up and saw that it was actually $50, I was like, wow, that's a hefty piece of resin for $50.
Any other colors or just the green?
That's the only one they have so far, but they have other stuff coming soon. So make sure to keep up with Lightsleepers and everything they're doing. They've got more resin releases coming. So, and they do t-shirts and pens and all kinds of other awesome stuff as well. So all in all, I just want to say PowWow Hawaii, awesome show. Had a lot of fun with it. If you happen to be in Honolulu at the time that it's going on, usually it's like the first or second week of February, make sure to check it out. If you can't make it out to Honolulu, PowWow does go on in other cities, Thailand, Long Beach, and many more. Make sure to keep a look on PowWow Worldwide on Instagram and see if it's coming to a town near you.
Which Thailand is a country?
Yeah, I think it's like, I don't know if they even call it PowWow Thailand. But it's like in Thailand. So they have all kinds of events. Just check it out. You want to roll in while I take a little breather here?
Yeah, let's do it because you had your share of your talking on that one. So first up is Corey Helfer Gallery, who's friends of the show, and we seem to cover very often. They have 2 shows coming up this weekend out of their 3-gallery exhibit. First one is Alex Gross, Antisocial Network, which we covered in the past and kind of made guesses at what would be in there. Second one is Meredith Marcone with Arbitrary Dreams. So those are 2 of the 3 galleries. They didn't really let on what the third one was, but both those will be from February 25th, which is this Saturday, through March 25th. So that's in Los Angeles.
Very cool. Next up, the super clear Bozu edition.
Ooh, tell me more.
3.5-inch soft vinyl piece. We featured it on the show before in the Tofu edition. And this one is super clear. So it's like just clear Sofubi. And we are told that the type of plastic they used is supposed to resist yellowing over time. So if you have clear soft vinyl, you've seen in the past that it may yellow when it's that clear color. This one is supposed to combat that. So we'll see how that works out. Yeah. But Planet 3 Toys and Lulubelle will be releasing it on February 25th at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The piece includes the custom-made stamped tag. So if you've seen these in the past, they have like a little burlap or like a hemp necklace with a tag on it. That'll include that for $30.
Ooh. Next up is a piece that we covered the other day on the blog for a Kickstarter from Josh Blaylock, also as part of Devil's Due crew, for the Mercy Sparx Kickstarter, which I believe is a book. I think in this case it's the 4th book in the series. But as part of our purview is a 4-inch Mr. Suit figure that you can also get as a reward. So here we're having the link to the Kickstarter, so it all fits within our purview.
Yeah.
Toy,
cool.
Comic book. Watch the video; it's pretty humorous.
Read the comic and get the toy too. Mm-hmm. Next up, we're talking about a show that we're sponsoring.
Ooh,
the For the Children Wu-Tang inspired group show taking place this Friday, February 24th at Frame Shop in Over the Rhine, Cincinnati. What we're really focusing on though today is a custom 8-inch Dunny.
Yeah, Donny.
That was made for the show by Rob Warnick. And it features a bee-inspired design in the black and yellow color scheme of Wu-Tang. And the classic, Wu-Tang, for whatever reason, uses the bee. I'm not 100% sure. But
was Be Real part of Wu-Tang?
No.
Okay.
No. Oh. I had to think there for a second. I'm like, no, I don't think he was. But they, it's a pretty cool looking piece. And if you're a Wu-Tang fan, it's even cooler to you.
Because they ain't nothing to mess with.
Yeah. So if you happen to be in Cincinnati, though, it looks like it's going to be a really cool show. We've seen things like neon signs and all kinds of like pillows and different things that artists have created celebrating the love of Wu-Tang. So if you happen to be down in Cincinnati this weekend, stop in, check it out, send us some photos.
As we continue to talk about shows, at Woot Bear Gallery this weekend is the Feminimorph 2. Kind of a juxtaposition of words. So Feminimorph 2 show, February 25th through March 25th, and is an all-female show and is curated by Candy Bolton and Tasha Zimmich.
Yeah. So I saw Tasha's, some of her pieces. Those look really cool. And MJ Sue has created a very awesome, like, female form sculpture. It was like her first dive into sculpting like that, and she knocked it out of the park. That thing looks sweet. So
that's good.
If you happen to be out by Woot Bear, make sure to stop in. Check it out.
Woot Bear.
Woot Bear. Next up, famous graffiti artist Cope2 has released a new pin with the Stupid Crap company, apparently based out of Australia. The bubble pin, which features his OG signature, Cope, is currently available. Comes out to around $12 shipped to the United States. And if you're a fan of graffiti or just this artist in general, it's a really cool way to own like his signature design as a pen. And you can kind of just stick it on your clothes, stick it on a pin board, whatever you want to stick it on. And it's almost like you have graffiti right on you. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. To commemorate Keanu Reeves coming back to the big silver screen, Scott Kinnebrew has created the pencil from John Wick Chapter 2, which is actually a real number 2 pencil with red stuff on it. The red stuff not being blood, but is in fact paint.
Because that would get smelly.
It would be weird to have someone's blood or something's blood inside a package, and it would look kind of weird. But it's $16.95 shipped within the United States. It is limited to 20 pieces.
And it's a funny gift for anybody that
wants a bloody pencil.
Well, if you like John Wick, or you just want to tell somebody, I thought about stabbing you with this pencil, but instead I stabbed someone else. So next up, we have news coming from Obsessed Panda and Hints and Spices Toys, also based out of Australia, ironically enough. The Nebula Koala figure is limited to 3 custom painted pieces and will be available this Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is noon, at opcustoms.bigcartel.com. And if you're a fan of his like galaxy black background with like nebula painting all over it, this is right up your alley. He has not released the price at this time, but really cool looking piece. If you're a fan of the figure or the artist, this is a great chance to grab. I had never seen this figure, to be honest.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like a little koala bear. It's pretty freaking cute. So
koalas are traditionally cute until they rip your face off.
Yeah, I'm just going to avoid putting my face in front of it.
As no sort of segue ever, Buzzard Guts is releasing the Cybot Adventures bootleg series that they have coming up, where it's mashing up both Star Wars, which is popular with everyone, and Marvel, that is popular with everyone. So it's 2 popular things for everyone, where they are working with the 1977 Kenner figures. So the C-3PO figure is being used for the Iron Man and Captain America, and the RA-7 is used for Hulk and Spider-Man. There are 20 figures total, or I guess 5 complete sets of each. They are $40 each, or $150 for the set, and they'll be available Friday, February 24th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
I felt like the Spider-Man in that is a really clever use of the droid and the Spider-Man together. I thought that was a really good one and a really funny one. So next up, we have news coming from Absent and Silent Stage. The clear version of what we believe is called just the Absent Bust. The clear red version of that will be releasing soon. Ooh.
Oh, speculation.
Soon. So we're going to speculate a little bit and announce that in the previous release, which was gold, they actually, bronze, sorry. They were limited to 25 pieces and were $100. So we're expecting a similar price range. So I'm assuming it'll be kind of similar to the red guy here, because
I'd say so.
It's pretty close to that same looking color in the picture. So we'll see as more details become available.
So coming up at an undetermined time for an undetermined amount of time is LukeChewFlab Slab are re-releasing the OG boba drinking boba. Since it's so popular and they've released it 4 or 5 times already, they are going to be releasing it one final time until they get tired of having it, or until they
sell out.
Can no longer. Actually, it's not a matter of selling out. It's until they don't think they can fulfill the order anymore. They'll be having the figure for $300 plus $90, I guess, tracked shipping.
Yep.
And the way they phrased it was, if you haven't gotten one yet, get one now, because
or you're not getting it.
Or they're probably never going to make it, even though this is the 5th time they've released one.
Yep.
But
so they're saying this is it.
It's to the point where everyone keeps asking about it.
I even saw them go as far to say that it's so hard to produce this, we're not doing it again.
Yeah.
That was like one of the quotes from their little post about it, which I feel like making the tea part of it would be really, really hard.
Yeah.
Like, and how they get that little plastic piece on the top of it, I'd like to know.
Maybe you should ask.
Yeah, I could. Next up, another teaser. This time coming from Buff Monster. He has a new Melty Misfits sub-series coming soon. It appears this is so if you know about Garbage Pail Kids, they made a lot of like international versions that were in different languages. So it appears that this series is going to include cards inspired by that effort, with like international and different languages included on the card, which is an ode to obviously the collection that Buff Monster curates himself, which is a humongous Garbage Pail Kids collection. And this is kind of another ode back to the further collecting of garbage pails. So we'll see as more information coming soon. The last series was a Kickstarter, so maybe this will be too. Who knows?
Only time will tell.
Yep.
Next up, Mondo is having their second house party event, in which, in this time, they are having original pieces of artwork for no more than $200. It is happening during South by Southwest, which is one of the 2 big music festivals in Austin, Texas, and features the likes of Jermaine Rogers, Tom Whalen, and a bunch of others. As I blank out on everything.
J.C.
Richards, I think Ollie Moss is in there. So they're normal suspects that they have involved.
So next up is this week, if you didn't know, well, this previous week was Toy Fair.
New York City.
Toy Fair is an industry type thing where retailers can go in and look at upcoming releases from major companies like Mattel and Hasbro and all those kind of people. But Kidrobot was also there. And of course, the media was also there. So
media.
So we're seeing a lot of images coming out on things that are coming later in the year. The big note was that they have revealed a first look at the DTA Dunny series. Has people like the Bots, Andrea Kang, Quicks, Gary Ham, Tamagotchi Island. I think that's who that other one is.
Just quickly overshadowed the Divination series.
Yeah, and they showed the Arcane Divination series as well. They did. But both of them look great. They really do. And I was told that the DTA Dunny series, they showed it off, but it's actually, those are just the first color test samples and they're not actually correct. So we'll be getting even better versions of those in the coming months. But it looks like Kidrobot is off to the races again as far as Dunnies are concerned. They had some awesome pieces, some of which we've already seen, some which this is the first look at them. So we'll see more as they get closer. But they also showed off things like the Andy Warhol Series 2.
Which begs the question of whether they needed the first one, but I guess we'll roll with the fact that we have a second one.
Well, apparently they sold enough that they thought they needed a second one, so I guess they did. A Care Bear series.
I think Task One should do one of those.
So I don't know if it's a Dunny series or if they're like, squat versions of Care Bears. They also showed off Care Bear medium figures, which are artist designs. So I'm guessing it's going to be more in the line of like those Bart Simpsons they did, where it was like an artist design version of Bart, or like the Hello Kitty figures they did years ago.
I wonder if they're going to ask Task One to do one.
Probably not. They also showed off a very controversial item, which is the fact that they have now licensed the Dunny.
Dun, dun, dun.
Creating a Batman series of Dunnies. I don't know that we needed that, but I'm not mad. Like some people are mad that like, oh, they're licensing the Dunny. It discounts everything that's been done before and going to be done in the future. I think in theory, it could pull in more people to the Dunny platform. I don't think those are going to be marketed to the normal Dunny collector. I think they could have done more by having some artists come in and do versions of Batman and superheroes on the Dunny. I don't know that the Dunny was the best platform, and there was a reason why it had not been licensed in that way before. There are folks are saying like, well, the Dunny shouldn't be licensed at all. It has been licensed. The Andy Warhol series was a licensed series, and Yo Gabba Gabba, the DJ.
Yeah,
they did the DJ Dunny. That was a licensed Dunny. Now people will say those fit more in the line than just a Batman Dunny. I'm not mad about
DJ
this.
Qbert.
Yeah.
Yo Gabba Gabba, I thought was the PBS show.
I thought Yo Gabba Gabba had DJ Qbert on it.
I have no idea.
I don't know. Whatever. So DJ Qbert, they did these in the past, so I'm not mad about it. I don't care. Other people write us hate mail about how you hate Dunnies and all that kind of stuff. But if they can keep making cool Dunny series like the Arcane Divination and DTA Dunnies by selling Batman Dunnies, I'm on board.
Well, last up for me as we try to speed into the end of this. Luke Chueh and Munky King are having a release party of the Prisoner figure, which is the pink edition, or also the OxyContin 20 milligram edition, from 5 to 9 p.m. this Saturday, February 25th at Munky King in Los Angeles.
And at that event, there are going to be custom releases, including Josh Mayhem.
Oh.
With a custom version.
He's going to blow us away with something.
Actually, it's not a blown away. It's like a drip version. So it looks like it's like, I think he took the paint bucket. They've only showed the teaser, but my guess is he took the paint bucket and did like a cover the cap.
Yeah.
Like a Sherwood Williams look, and it drips down over the bear. It looks really cool from the teaser photos. So if you happen to be at that event, make sure to check it out. Maybe grab one for your collection if you're into Josser's work. And our final piece of news is reporting on a new podcast.
Oh, more to the scene.
Legendary pop artist Ron English has started the POPaganda Podcast. And so far they're about 6-7 episodes in. And they've talked.
And we're just now covering them.
Well, I think they released a big like wave of them all at once,
Okay.
and then really started pushing it when Buff Monster was on there. So recently, Buff Monster was a guest. He talked about kind of like his thoughts on different things in the art world and like branding of artists and all that kind of stuff. But he's also talking to people like Hanksy, which, you know, he was talking about his success and how he kind of got tied to the Donald Trump campaign, being against it, obviously, and what that means for his career and a lot of other interesting topics. But he's also talking to people like Morgan Spurlock.
Oh.
So he had a whole interview with Morgan Spurlock talking about his career, how he got started, how he, you know, doing Super Size Me and how that changed his whole trajectory in life. And actually there's really cool stuff. You think Morgan Spurlock, you know, doing Super Size Me, obviously super famous. Well, before that he wasn't. And like hearing his struggle and like how hard it is to get a TV show and like make something work. It was really good. I liked it.
Very insightful.
Yeah. So if you want to check that out, make sure to head over to iTunes and check out the POPaganda Podcast. So, but we hope you enjoyed hearing about our trip to PowWow Hawaii, and also hopefully you enjoyed a lot of news from the coming week. So I think that's all we got, though.
That's all we have time for.
So as always, I'm Travis.
And I'm Ben.
Have a great designer toy day.
And on to the commercials.
Thanks for checking out our video right here on youtube.com/urbanvinyldaily. While you're here, make sure to give us a subscribe and a like. And if you're so gracious, you can share this video on your favorite social network. You can always give us a follow on Instagram or Twitter @urbanvinyldaily, or find us on Facebook by going to facebook.com/urbanvinyldaily, and you'll be able to keep up with our latest posts and information going on in the world of UVD. If you want to help us out in more of a monetary way, you can always head over to our store, urbanvinyldaily.storeenvy.com, and check out all the awesome things we have available from great artists from all over the world. Or you can head over to our PayPal and just straight up donate to us to help us keep the lights on and keep things going by going to paypal.com and sending money over to urbanvinyldaily@gmail.com. And that will help us out in more ways than you know. If you want to keep up with everything going on in the world of UVD, make sure to head over to urbanvinyldaily.com. Or if you're interested in sponsorship information, a comment, or a question, make sure to head over to urbanvinyldaily@gmail.com and send us a message. And if it's good enough, we'll answer it right here on the UVD Weekly Wrap-Up. As always, this has been an Urban Vinyl Daily production.